I'm 94 years old, and I need to tell you something most people realize too late. Aging doesn't take you down all at once. It happens quietly, in small, invisible ways. Not with pain, not with warnings, but with tiny losses you don't notice until one day you do. My name is Margaret, and I've watched this happen to people I love. Some stayed strong into their 90s. Others didn't make it past 75 with their independence. And the difference wasn't luck. It was what they did before things went wrong. So listen carefully, because what I'm about to share might change how you age. The first thing that changes is your balance, not your strength, not your energy, your balance. And what makes it dangerous is how quiet it is. You won't feel dizzy. You won't feel unstable. You'll feel exactly the same as you did yesterday, but something underneath has already shifted. Your body has a system that keeps you upright without thinking. Tiny signals constantly moving between your feet, your inner ear, your brain. After 70, those signals begin to slow down. Not enough to notice, just enough to delay your reaction. So when your foot lands slightly wrong, your body corrects a fraction too late. And that fraction is everything. Most people don't realize this until the first stumble. Not even a fall, just a moment where they reach for something that isn't there. That's the warning. But here's the part most people miss. Balance isn't something you lose forever. It's something your body forgets when you stop challenging it. Try this. Stand still. Close your eyes. If your body shifts, even slightly, your balance isn't as reliable as you think. And that's okay, because you can train it back. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. 10 seconds. Then switch. Do it every day. And slowly, your body begins to remember how to hold you up again. The second thing that changes is your strength, but you won't notice it disappearing because it doesn't feel like loss. It feels like choice. You start avoiding things. You carry lighter bags. You take the elevator instead of the stairs. You push yourself up using your hands instead of your legs. And each time, it feels harmless. Small decisions, reasonable choices. But your body is always paying attention. It reads those moments as a message. We don't need this anymore. And slowly, it begins to let go. Muscle doesn't vanish overnight. It fades quietly through disuse. At first, nothing seems different. Then one day, standing up feels harder. Holding something feels heavier. Your grip doesn't feel as strong. And you wonder when it changed. But here's the truth most people never hear. Your strength is still there, waiting. Your body hasn't given up. It's just responding to what you ask of it. Give it a reason, and it will rebuild. Not with intense workouts, not with hours in a gym. Simple movements, squats holding onto a chair, wall push-ups, light resistance, 15 minutes a day. That's all it takes to send a new message. We still need this. And when your body hears that, it starts bringing your strength back. The third change is the quietest of them all. You won't feel it, you won't see it, and that's what makes it dangerous. Your bones begin to weaken. Not suddenly, not painfully, just slowly, becoming less dense, less solid, more fragile than they used to be. And your body doesn't warn you. There's no signal, no discomfort, no moment that tells you something is wrong, until one day something small happens, a misstep, a slip, a simple fall that should have meant nothing. But this time it does, because the bone wasn't as strong as you thought. And here's something most people never consider. Sometimes it's not the fall that causes the break. Sometimes the bone gives way first, and the fall comes after. That's how silent this change is. But your bones are not fixed. They respond, just like your muscles do. They need pressure. They need impact. Without it, your body assumes strength is no longer required. Walking helps, but gentle force matters too. Stepping with intention, light marching, small movements that send a signal. Stay strong. And when your body receives that signal, it doesn't just maintain, it adapts. Because even now, your bones are still listening. The fourth change is something most people never notice. Your body starts losing track of itself. Not your memory, not your thoughts, your physical awareness. There's a system inside you that tells your brain exactly where your body is at all times. Even with your eyes closed, you know where your hands are, where your feet are, how high you're stepping. After 70, that system begins to blur, not disappear, just lose precision. You think you lifted your foot high enough, but you didn't. You think you're walking straight, but you're slightly off. And the dangerous part? You feel completely normal. That tiny gap between what you think you're doing and what your body actually does, that's where trips happen. That's where missed steps happen. It's not your eyesight. It's not your strength. It's the connection. But this connection can be trained. Slow, controlled movement brings it back. Walk heel to toe across a room. Reach for objects without looking directly at them. Stand still and focus on your posture. Just a few minutes a day, that's all it takes to sharpen that awareness again. Because your brain never forgets how to learn, it just needs a reason. And when you give it that reason, your body begins to feel like yours again. The fifth change is the one that does the most damage, and it doesn't start in your body. It starts in your mind. Fear. Not the kind you notice, not the kind you talk about. Quiet fear. The kind that shows up after a small stumble or a moment where you almost lose your balance. Nothing serious happens. You catch yourself. But something changes. You begin to hesitate. Your steps get smaller. Your movements get slower. Your body becomes careful. And careful feels safe. But over time, careful turns into rigid. And rigid bodies don't adjust. They don't flow. They don't correct. They fall. Fear changes the way you move. It tightens your muscles. It limits your range. It makes your body forget how to react naturally. And the hardest part? You believe it's protecting you, but it's doing the opposite. It's slowly taking away your confidence. And once that confidence fades, your movement fades with it. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing, from proving to your body again and again that it can still hold you up. Simple actions, standing steady, moving freely, trusting your steps. And when your body feels that again, fear begins to disappear. Not because you forced it away, but because your body no longer needs it. I'm 94 years old, and I've seen what happens when people stop. They don't lose everything at once. They lose it slowly, until one day they can't get it back. But I've also seen something else. The ones who keep moving, keep using their body, keep challenging themselves. They don't stop aging, but they stay capable. And that changes everything. So start small. Stand on one foot. Take a walk. Use your strength. Not tomorrow, today. Because your body is always listening. And it will either adapt or it will shut down. Those are the only two choices. So the real question is, what are you going to do next?